after you graduate, it can be really easy to no longer be active in the faith, to stop going to church, to stop being in the Word, and it's never really an intentional thing, but it's just something that happens to so many people. So something I really want to encourage you to do is to get plugged, wherever you end up going, whatever you end up doing, get plugged into a church, be active in their young adult ministry. That can be a great way to challenge you to further the kingdom and to push your faith with Christ. And another thing is look for opportunities to serve. Service is a great way to honor God, to worship Him, and just exemplifying and being an example of God's love. He is the ultimate example of service, and I think that's just a really important thing, and something that has strengthened my relationship with Christ and really shown me His love through my service with others. So I really want to encourage us.
Hi friends, Ariel Howard here, and today I'm answering the question of how do you live out your Christian life in college? And my statement is make sure you get plugged into a ministry on campus and a church. And so people may think that they're interchangeable, but they're actually not. You have the campus ministry to serve you while you're in, during the school week, and then on Sundays, or even more during the week if you want to, you go to a church. And so for example, I'm in the Baptist student ministry at Texas State, and I go to First Baptist Church San Marcos. And so it's really critical that you get plugged in when you first get to college, so that you don't put it off and you're oh my gosh, what if I don't have a ride? What if I don't have this? Because they're doing all of their welcome activities at the beginning of every school year. And those events are specifically for you. So my thing is get connected. Okay.
Hey guys, I wanted to give you my advice on how to live out the Christian life while you're in college. I spent a significant amount of time in college. It was a really meaningful experience for me. I went to a Baptist college in Louisiana, but I also went to Indiana State for 2 years where my faith was challenged continually. There's a couple words of advice I have for you. So the first one is delayed judgment. You're going to hear things, and you're going to be in classes, you're going to have friends who are going to challenge your Christian faith. One of the biggest things that you need to learn from the very get-go is that you don't make radical changes in worldview based on one conversation. When you hear something that challenges your faith, you need to investigate it and delay judgment, not for days, not merely for weeks, but for long periods of time where you can really, really wrestle with things. The second thing I have is that you're called to love other people. There's going to be people who disagree with you, disagree with your worldview and what you believe about Christianity. You are called to love those people. There's not this love-like distinction where, I can love that person but not really like them. That's not, I don't think that's a category in the Bible. I think the idea is that you genuinely care for other people and show them kindness and serve them, even if you radically disagree with what they believe. If you radically disagree with how they live, you are still called to love that person. This doesn't mean you don't speak the truth. You speak the truth to people. Doesn't mean you don't call out sin. It means that, especially with close friends, what it means is you genuinely show grace and kindness and a servant's heart towards people who are close to you and far away. So if arguments happen in class, things like that, you are called as a Christian to be somebody who's gracious and kind in the midst of an argument. Even if it's about the most important things that you believe and live out, politically, when it comes to religion, whatever it is, you're called to show love to those people.
Is to, 1, understand Scripture and what it says, and 2, to not be afraid to proclaim that both to your professors and in the classroom. All too often we find when people go into college, they come face to face with words and beliefs that directly contradict what the Scripture says. Now, we as Christians are put forth to know what the gospel has in it, in all parts of the Bible, and to proclaim that as the truth, the one and only truth. But how are we to proclaim this if we don't know it? And so I urge you to look through the Scripture and hold fast and know what you believe before it's put to the test in college, because if you don't know what you need to believe and have it set point, then you're going to be pushing past boundaries that you didn't even know were there.
In terms of continuing your faithful life after high school, whether you go to college or not, community is a big part of it. Finding a community that just makes you want to follow God and grow in your spiritual relationship with Him is really important. And you don't want it to be a discouraging time in your life, because this time in your life you're going to face a lot of challenges that are not going to make following God easy. And so it takes a little bit of perseverance, and it takes some intentions. So whether that's, finding a church around the area that you're going to, or staying in the community that you're in, find a community that you can love God with and that you can spread that gospel with. It's important to be in a community where you are excited to work in missions with them, and you are willing to put some time into that community. I think that's really important. Also, it's important to have friends in that community, at least to make friends in that community. That way you feel more connected and that you're not just some outsider joining with the community every once in a while.